New Star Wars movie, Nerf beats it. New Harry Potter movie, Nerf beats it. Yeah. I didn't know anything about Nerf when we started doing the new season. So.
Wait, even Pokemon?
What's that? It outsells Pokemon. In the U.S.
Only in the U.S.
Yeah. These are U.S. toy sales.
These are U.S. toy sales, not worldwide.
That's what we do at Nacelle. Our moderators fact check us. So that's how you know we are a very honest company.
No, I'm just here to just ask all the questions and to keep the time tight because we want to make sure we have time for the Q&A, and there's a lot of people here. So
that's right.
We are still 4 minutes. We need to get rolling. So
okay.
Should we wait? Do we want any more fun facts, Brian? You've got 4 minutes.
Anybody else want a fun fact?
I love fun
that facts. Normally I give, but because we got a lot today, I can't get into. Okay, this is not a Q&A. This is just a fun fact.
Fun fact section time. Pre-game show.
Jack Nicholson did not want to do Batman. What? Very badly. He absolutely didn't want to do it. They offered him $5 million. He said no. They offered him $8 million. That would have made him the highest paid actor of all time. He said no. They offered him $10 million. He said no. They went back to him and said, we'll give you $10 million and 10% of Batman. Not the Tim Burton 1989 Batman movie. Batman for life. And Nicholson said, I'll do it for $11 million and 10% of Batman. That's the deal he did. Now you'll probably think of this later, but I'll put it out there for you now. The Christopher Nolan movies, for example, made about $3 billion. That means that Jack Nicholson, without getting out of bed, and I'm no math expert, made somewhere between $200 and $300 million 20 years after he worked about, let's say, 10 weeks. Wow. Yeah, so there you go. Now I'm not out of fun facts, but I think we have to start.
No, you got 2 minutes.
Woo! Anybody else?
Freedom now before I lock him down.
Anybody else want another fun fact? You want a Star Trek fact?
No.
I don't know if I have any Star Trek facts.
We have a Star
We're gonna
Trek
have to cancel
panel
the panel just so Brian can talk.
The fun fact, I don't use it. You tell a fun fact. You tell.
About Star Trek?
About anything.
Oh, about anything. What? No, I was going to say, you endless stream of Star Trek facts. Oh, now I'm on the spiral staring at me.
By the way, for anybody who doesn't know Brian Stillman, this guy makes me look like I don't know what toys are. So that's actually. Can I do a fun fact about you?
I guess.
All right. Here's a fun fact about Brian.
Wait, is my mom in the room? Okay.
But it is about your mom. Too soon. Okay. So I meet Brian. Whoa, are they already lowering my mic? I just talk like that. Who's ever on the board? This is a very small stand. They lowered my mic. Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
You're
All
loud
right.
and clear.
So Brian did a documentary. How many people have seen Plastic Galaxy? Okay.
You're all my best friends.
So Brian did this awesome documentary about Plastic Galaxy that
About Star Wars toys.
Was all about Star Wars toys, and it was amazing. I read an article in USA Today about it, and they had his email address at the bottom of it. So I literally was like in a restaurant, emailed him, hey man, great doc, we should talk. He emailed me back, we became friends, started doing stuff. Our first meeting, you know I can never skip this part of the story. Our first meeting ever was at a restaurant in Manhattan called The Keg. And the reason why I find that so funny is probably the 2 #1 people on earth who don't care about kegs are these guys. But anyway, so Brian and I became friends. He did this, what I think is one of the best Star Wars documentaries ever. And then we got toys that made us greenlit. And I called Brian and I go, hey, we just sold a show to Netflix. We're doing it. It's called Toys That Made Us. There's going to be a Star Wars episode. We'd love for you to help us be a part of it. And Brian's also a camera guy. So I was like, we'd love for you to do a lot of camera work with all the stuff we're doing. He was like, great, I'm happy to. That's awesome. Thank you. Do you want my Rolodex? And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I have the names and numbers of everybody you're gonna want to talk to. Like, do you want them? And I'm like, of course, I didn't know him that well. I'm like, oh, I wonder what he wants for it. I'm like, yeah, if you want to send it, sure. So he just sent us an email with pretty much everybody we would ever need to interview to make a documentary about Star Wars toys. That was it. Didn't ask for anything. No big deal. No nothing.
I wanted $11 million.
And 10%.
10% of Toys and Toys.
And I would conservatively estimate that saved us at least a month. And if you have a whole research staff, that's an expensive month. So that's how me and Brian met.
I'm gonna add one thing that fun fact.
Doors closing.
I won't say that's your one.
Quick fun fact to
One
wrap that
quick
up.
fun fact, and we gotta go.
I worked on every episode of Toys That Made Us, except the Star Wars episode. That's the only one I didn't shoot any interviews for.
He's not there.
I didn't know that. I don't know. It just worked out that way.
I don't know if I ever knew that.
Gentlemen, ladies are speaking now. Thank you so much. All right. What up, New York Comic Con? That Mr. Keith Bill energy up here. I said, what up, New York Comic Con? So, my name is Bevan. You probably see me on Nacelle's Icons on Earth. I'm wearing exactly what you're seeing right now. I am the timekeeper today to make sure that there is plenty of time afterwards for your Q&As. So I'm going to need your support system on that because they've got so much fun facts they could go on for hours. We're really quickly going to just go down the line on who everybody is, although I feel like everyone here does know who Brian Volkweiss is. He's the boss man. He loves to search in the wild for rack toys. It's Brian Volkweiss. Next to him is Brian with an I. This is Brian Stillman, producer, has a black cat named Smidge. And then next to Brian with an I is a Brian with a Y. He is somebody that's not going to throw away his shot to see a Yankees game. Woo!
Right.
He is Mr. Destruction of RoboForce, Brian Adams, head of PR and social media, and a man of many, many hats. And then our honorary Brian at the very, very end. She's got a pocket full of sunshine. This is Maud Pamela. And this is how a TV show launched a toy company. Let's do this. So, it all started back in 2017 when Brian Volkweiss and I first met. Do you remember that?
I remember it vividly. It's weird because I've done a million interviews, but for some reason, maybe because it was like one of my first ever, I remember it vividly. We were in San Diego in that nice suite, and it was very hot. I remember sweating quite a bit.
Yes, I was really excited to meet you, and I really, really wanted Batman, and you said, stay tuned.
By the way, for everybody in here, because I know this is not being recorded, whenever I say stay tuned on like social media, that's usually a very passive-aggressive way that for legal reasons I can't say what I want to say, which is yes. I'll either not answer or say no. So that's what stay tuned means.
Yeah, so there's your insider tips and tricks here. And then out of the Toys That Made Us, a toy community was born. Brian Volkweiss, how many toys did you have before the Toys That Made Us?
About 400.
How many do you have now?
Over 5,000.
That was my case.
Why are you laughing?
Before number. Before number.
You know why? I'm glad you said it. That's thanks to Mrs. Volkweiss, who points that out frequently. Yes.
But then out of this as well, you also not only became a fan of toys, you also bought a toy.
Yes, so basically what happened was because of Toys That Made Us, it kind of, and just so you know for the record, like I don't consider myself to be a toy expert. I maybe in some area, like I'm a Star Trek toy expert, that's true, maybe a little Star Wars, but compared to people like Brian Stillman, I'm not a toy expert. But because of Toys That Made Us, and because it was on Netflix, we instantly became like the toy people. So we got a lot of incoming calls. One of those incoming calls was a guy who basically was like, I know how to find famous toys that the rights are available. So of course we hired that guy. And then the first toy, the property that we bought was RoboForce. And do I stop there? Or
Nope, and you can keep going. And then what did you do after that?
Then we got biker mice. Then let's see here. Normally there's like a little screen we can see what the hell I'm talking
Now
about.
you got a
So
full
I'll go to my script. Then we got biker mice from Mars. Then we got
Well, you started making the toys.
yes. Oh yeah. We started making the toys.
There's some fodder in here, guys.
So all we did was we hired and it really is as silly. You may think I'm trying to simplify this or be funny, like I'm not. This is literally what happened. We hired that guy who called, then we got RoboForce, then we hired a designer, then we hired a sculptor, then we found a factory in China, then we sent them some money, then they made some toys, and then we shipped them all across the country. And it worked, barely, but it worked. And then we just kept going. But I mean, it really was like in staff meetings, hey, does anybody know any designers? Hey, anybody know any factories in China? I mean, it really was that basic.
And then, out of all of that, then you get the RoboForce, and then...
And then we got biker mice from Mars, sectars, the Great Garloo. By the way, before you move,
Not moving.
the blue one, Garblue. This is the Walmart exclusive we did, and I always like telling people this because I'm so proud of myself for knowing the word Pantone. I did not know that word before. We got the Pantone codes. And I don't know if they're codes, but I call them that. We got the Pantone codes from Walmart. So that is Walmart blue on the skin and Walmart yellow on the little underwear.
Very nice. But we kept going.
Then we got Cowboys in Moon Mesa, which for any of you who ordered them, I am very excited to let you know, they are in American waters. They are not on American land yet. They are in American waters. We are waiting to get them on American land, but I don't know if people have been paying attention to the port of Los Angeles, but they've been having some problems.
What about Power Lords?
Then we got Power Lords, which is a blatant lie, because truthfully, we got Power Lords even before RoboForce, but for some reason, he always ends up fourth. But yes, we got Power Lords. This is one of my favorite toys. Of all the Nacelleverse, this was the one when I was a kid, other than RoboForce. I literally had all of them. They were all crazy. Hello, sir. Who's he waving at?
Hey,
Oh.
some people come to say, just saying.
I was just waiting back. But anyway, for anybody who doesn't know Power Lords, if you think He-Man is weird, if you think He-Man is crazy, sit down and drink a beer from Power Lords.
But you know, even after making toys as well, like you just went one step further because you are a production company. You do make documentaries and comedy specials, so it just makes sense that after that you would go full transmedia and go straight into a cartoon.
That's right. So again, paying attention, and this is not a joke, paying attention to everything we learned from making toys that made us, little help from movies that made us. I was like, you know what? You know what seems to help sell toys? Cartoons. And you know what's a lot more fun to make than even toys? Cartoons. And that turned out not to be true. That is literally the hardest thing you've ever made. Those 6 episodes, I think, took 15 years. But anyway, so I knew that RoboForce wasn't Transformers. I know, it's true. Calm down, it's true. So the first thing we did, we were already working with The Rock. So I called his people and I was like, hey, we got this cartoon, want to be a part of it? They were like, sure, why not? It's more complicated than that, but in the interest of time, that's what happened. So we attached The Rock, then we found a studio called Cartoon Conrad. They're up in Canada. They were awesome, we hired them, we made a cartoon, we sold it to Tubi, and it started airing in April. Let's just say it did very well, and you should stay tuned.
Because I even think we have a trailer for that as well.
Oh, look at that. Do you want to see a trailer?
Well, good, because you're going to get it anyway.
Preloaded.
We've got company!
A crisis has begun. Someone has determined how to hack the 101. They've been attacking people and we have the power to stop it.
Wow. The power is so How do we plug it in?
Alright, we're gonna start this over. Act like you didn't see anything.
Ooh. Expense.
Oh, Brian with a Y.
A crisis has begun.
Someone has determined how to hack the 101.
They've been attacking people, and we have the power to stop it. You sure you wouldn't want to join? Well, that went well.
What was unthinkable a few days ago has become a pattern. Those 101s were infected with some rogue code.
You got this. You were programmed to lead. You got this. You got this.
He's got nothing!
Oh my god, Duke!
She's going to figure this out. We need to do so before she does.
Using the entire army of UA-101s to attack humanity isn't a liberation. It's a slaughter.
Fight! Fight! Fight!
Built to be the best, but they ended up coming last. Designed to be the future, but they were kept in the past. For one shining moment, they were put on center stage. In spite of all their hard work, they couldn't turn the page. No one was in danger by enemies far and near. 'Cause today's heroes have failed, and RoboForce was rising up from the ashes. We'll be there when the world comes crashing down. And all the other heroes start to fall. We'll heed the call. RoboForce.
You want a screwdriver, kid? I'm not a clogged garbage disposal.
Can I interject something?
Yes, of course.
Someone asked me once, when did you know this whole Nacelle-verse craziness thing you're doing worked? And I said, well, I don't know if it's worked, but the moment where I knew it was starting to work was we did a panel probably about 2 months ago, and during the Q&A, somebody said, and by the way, the panel had nothing to do, it was a Star Trek panel, had nothing to do with Nacelle whatsoever. And one of the questions was, hey, how come in the trailer there's a shot of Soraya and her eyes are going back and forth? You know, I'm like, but it's not in the show. And I'm like, oh, people are watching this. I don't know. I forgot. We've been working on this for 6 years. Thank you.
Something must be working though, because other companies approach you to start making toys though.
That's right. So it all started with The Expanse, one of my favorite shows of all time. If anybody here likes science fiction and you have not watched The Expanse, I highly recommend you watch The Expanse. I consider it to be the high bar of science fiction on television. Yes, above Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And because we got The Expanse, and because of a random meeting at Playmates, where they casually mentioned they weren't doing Star Trek no more, we were like, well, maybe we should call Paramount. And we got the rights to make Star Trek toys, which I still barely believe is true.
It's pretty awesome though. They said yes. You don't know what
It
you
was
need.
very nice of them to say yes.
Before we move on, who's ready for some exclusive news here? You're gonna be the first to see this.
I'm excited.
It is in the box. How did you notice this mysterious box next to me? I'm gonna hand this over.
Brian with a Y.
Thank you. Do we
I'm
know?
just loading.
Oh, okay.
We're building up the anticipation.
Load away.
All right.
And wait, I gotta wait till it gets to 100%.
Just like it always. I love it because for the 90% of my life, I'm sitting where you are, so it's still a little weird sitting up here. Just to tell you, like the way these panels get put together, we have like meeting after meeting, and here's this, here's that. The entire time we were putting this presentation together, I never understood exactly what this was, but I trust my team. And I'm like, day off, I'll see it, and it'll all make sense. I still have no idea why we did this.
It's to set up the big reveal, so it's a slide
It's
so we
to,
can
it's
say,
to hype people up. You guys wanted to see some
Yeah.
I'm not ruining it.
No, not you, me.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was thank you. And here we go.
All right, who would like to see something from Biker Mice from Mars that nobody outside of the Nacelle company has ever seen before?
Whoa,
We got a little rimfire action here. We got a little rimfire action. So anybody who wants to come up afterwards, this is the Paint Master. So for any of you that don't know how toys get made, which I was like you until 3 years ago, mercifully, it basically you do the render gets done, that goes to the sculptor sculpts it and then paints it. So that's what this is. This is what's called a Paint Master. And then this is literally what will get sent to China, to the factory. They will make the molds based on this, and then they will paint it based on this, and then we go back and forth, keeping FedEx in business, to make sure that the final toy is as close as humanly possible to this. And once we're there, then we go into production, and then all of you who bought it get it. So that's what this
and
is.
there's more coming as well.
There's a lot more coming.
There's a lot more coming.
Who knows, really quick, who knows Rimfire's part in the Biker Mice universe? You know who he's related to? I know Tom does. He's Moto's nephew. He's Moto, one of the main three mice. He's his nephew, so you're going to see him a lot in the animated series.
But we have more. We have Throttle as well. And there's minis now.
So we don't have a production sample yet of Throttle, but
Fine.
you are the first people to be made aware that this is coming. So we have this new line that we're doing called Nacelle Minis, and the Nacelle Minis are basically little versions of the main characters from all our waves. We announced Garloo about 4 or 5 months, actually no, in July. I guess that is about 4 months ago. And then this is the second one in the wave. This is Throttle from the Nacelle Mini Wave.
And because we get this question all the time on social media, I'm just going to say it out loud for you, Brian. Why is it only $5.99? How is it only $5.99?
It's only $5.99 because that's what it should cost. Because we can make profit at that, and it's 5 points of articulation. Not 22 or more. It has like 5 paints, not 19. And we can still make money at that price point. So that's why it costs that much.
Great, but we have even more. We have even more reviews.
Yes. So we have from the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. This is the beginnings of Wave 2. So we have, I feel like I'm doing all the talking. Brian, do you?
Dakota Dude.
Hey.
Dakota Dude, one of our main characters, highly requested in Wave 1, so we wanted to make sure he's in Wave 2. A lot of really fantastic accessories, in the same vein of the hot dogs for Biker Mice from Mars. All of our Moo Mesa characters are going to come with Sarsaparilla mugs, so I hope you're thirsty. And yeah, that's the first look at Dakota Dude, and he's actually my favorite character in the franchise.
And then we have one more, though. Brian with a Y, do you want to take that too?
The Colorado Kid.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this will round out our main three, along with Marshall, who's in Wave 1. Wave 1 also includes Sheriff Terrible, which is my favorite looking toy that I think we've ever produced. It's pretty cool.
You mean Detonator, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, there was some static.
Well, Detonator's your baby, I guess.
All right. That's fair.
Terrible, I guess.
We don't have to have the same baby. Okay.
But you guys are the first. You guys are the first to see these renders live. So we don't have Paint Masters unfortunately in hand, but check them out. These will be available for pre-order early next year. We'll be putting it out on socials, and you can pre-order Wave 1 right now at nacellestore.com.
And the way I told everybody, if you like sci-fi and you haven't seen The Expanse, you need to watch The Expanse. If anybody in this room loves puns, Cowboys of Moo Mesa is the show for you, because what the show's about is basically they're all the cows on Earth, and then a cow met hit the planet and then made them all anthropomorphic. Because why wouldn't it, right?
Yes, but there's a real reason we're
You
actually
gotta love
here.
the 90s.
I get you. And another reason I love the 90s is because we're actually here to also talk about the toys that made us season 4 and 5. Where's my millennials out there? Can I see my millennials? Yes! I have a feeling you're going to like these next couple of seasons, because season 4 and 5 is near and dear to a millennial's heart, if I do say so myself. Let's just take a sneak peek at what's going on with 4. Let's see what's going on with season 4, which is. I knew that was going to get a response.
Show of hands, who's excited for the Pokemon episode?
Yep. Yep. So we got Pokemon.
Can I interject one
Yes.
thing? And then you know a lot about Pokemon, so you.
I don't.
You don't?
I can take this.
The Brian with the Y knows a lot about
But
Pokemon.
this is a fun. I wish I had said this earlier. This is one of my favorite fun facts, like in general, not just about toys. So there is a Wikipedia page, and I bring this up every panel, so I'm sure it's moved up in the listing. There's a Wikipedia page that lists the top 100 intellectual properties on our planet. So Pokemon is number 1, and it goes all the way down to number 100, right? So Pokemon, Star Wars, Marvel, whatever. It's a list of 100. On a planet of 8 billion people, as great as Japan is, they have less than 70 million people of that 8 billion. 51 of the names on that Wikipedia page come from that little island of about 68 million people on a planet 24,000 miles wide. Let that sink in and enjoy that Wikipedia page. You're welcome. I apologize to all your friends and family. They won't see if you're for an hour at least. Brian, anything you want to say? I
think Pokemon's such an interesting franchise, and I think the perfect one for us to kind of dive into, because it's dominated games, it's dominated cards, it's dominated toys, and sometimes when we're digging into these franchises, really, we're finding maybe they've only dominated toys here, maybe they've only dominated games. These guys are such a juggernaut that there's a lot to pull from. I'll give you a couple cool facts that I found to be interesting. So, who knows the first Pokemon?
Brian, we don't have time for facts.
Okay. Brian with a Y can get a couple of facts.
I didn't even finish the question. You already knew. Yeah, right on. Yeah, right on was the first one.
Boys that made us season 1 celebrity right there. What's up, Louie? Oh my God. By the way, similar to what I said about Brian Stillman, while we were in pre-production on season 1, Louie did that for us with He-Man. So, good to see you, man.
Okay, fun fact, we gotta go.
Oh, we have one more fun fact. So, did you know that the character Snorlax was actually designed after a Game Freak planner? His name's Koji. I think it's Koji Nishino. I found that to be pretty cool. And if you look at photos of them next to each other, it's absolutely hilarious. So, please do that later.
Oh my gosh. But remember when I said that when I first met Brian Volkweiss, I really wanted Batman, and he said stay tuned? Well, he did this one for me, guys. I would at least like to think that you did one for me.
Rumor has it there's some people up there not Batman, but that said, because Batman is, within reason, the only superhero I'm crazy about and passionate about, there are going to be a lot of Batman. Don't you worry.
Excellent, because that's one thing you and I get along with, is that we love Batman. I mean, they're Superman and Wonder Woman and Spider-Man. Do you guys like those guys? I mean, we're going to talk about that as well. Yeah, they're fine, right? But Batman's better, right? Yes. What? Stop.
He's a detective, people.
Come on. All right, but we're gonna keep going because we're not done with season 4. Then we have Nerf.
By the way, are you all seeing where my fun facts normally slot in? See what we did there?
Which means that we're gonna be like, ooh, Nerf. We all got hurt by playing.
Who remembers what Nerf stands for? You didn't know you were gonna be quizzed.
Non-expandable rubber foam.
Yeah.
Or something.
Very nice, very nice. But then we're gonna keep going because
It's the Care Bears.
yes, this is American Greetings. We got some Caroline, some strawberries,
Rainbow
shortcake.
Bright. The monstery thing here.
So
Monster balls.
this is a new kind of episode for us. We're changing our structure slightly. So this episode is as much about American Greetings as it is about the actual products. And we kind of do that anyway. I mean, the Star Wars episode really is a Kenner episode. The Barbie episode is basically a Mattel episode. But American Greetings is for anyone who doesn't know, is a wild story. Basically, it's in a weird way we kind of copied them a little bit because they were a company that did one thing that had absolutely nothing to do with toys or products or anything. All they made was cards, birthday cards, wedding cards, whatever. And someone was a big toy person who convinced the boss, hey, we should make toys and we should buy products and we should blah, blah, blah. And they made some of the most iconic toys that have ever existed. And then they just like, we're good, and then sort of stopped. And I do believe,
So here's the thing, that these seasons are still being shot, but we do have a little sneak peek, if you will, of one of these episodes. Do you want to see him? I said, do you want to see him?
Yes!
And just to set this up real quick, sorry. So funny, before this I said to Bevan, just keep things moving. And now I'm like, whoa.
I'm trying.
But that said, no, it's my fault. But just real quick, so as Bevan said, we are still making the show, we're in post, and we're still shooting too. But that said, Nick made this. So what you're about to see, Nick is one of our lead editors. Nick cut this, and Nick is, in my opinion, one of the funniest people I have ever met in my entire life. And I asked him, I go, hey man, can you cut something real quick so we can show people what we've been up to? And as usual, Nick Farrell is his full name, by the way, but he, as always, over-delivered.
Great. Okay, now are we ready? Excellent, let's do this. Okay. And, all right, I'm kidding, next one.
You should really bring these back. Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. I'm Nick Farrell, one of the editors on the Toys That Made Us, but you already knew that. Anyway, welcome to the cutting room. This is where all the magic happens. And if you don't believe that, check this out. Hello, Comic-Con! Hello, Comic-Con! What'll they think of next?
A four-legged robot marching through a field with an automatic rifle mounted on a sheath. You're on the other side. You're done.
Anyway, I assure you that at least some editing happens in this room, and lately we've been sifting through a whole bunch of footage getting ready to make the next season of The Toys That Made Us. And while everyone on our team has their favorite toy properties, be it Ghostbusters, Polly Pockets, superheroes, fast food toys, Pokemon, Nerf, or Hot Wheels, I myself have always been partial to American Greetings. Well, specifically those circular sickos known as Mad Balls.
Freaky fun for everyone, sold separately from Amtoy.
And it was while researching our American Greetings episode that we came across a fascinating artifact that reveals a hidden chapter of Mad Ball's history that most of you probably don't even know about. This is the part where you're all supposed to go, ooh. Yeah, that's okay. Anyway, our research team uncovered this extremely rare Amtoy dealer catalog that sales reps handed out to retail buyers at the 1987 New York Toy Fair. And at first, this all looks like pretty standard fare. There's that iconic Series 1 lineup with baddies like Slobulus, Oculus Orbis, and Screaming Mimi. Then there's the Series 2 creeps, the big giant super mad balls, and of course the head poppers, which were comprised of existing mad balls from both Series 1 and 2, rejiggered into action figure form with spring-loaded heads that launched off their bodies. Ew. But this is where the catalog jumps the guardrail straight into Crazy Town. There was a second assortment of head poppers intended for release that never saw the light of day. And while Snakebait and Splitting Headache were existing Series 2 Mad Balls, there were all new and original characters like Socket Sucker, Double Dread, Fright Bite, and Knucklehead. And it doesn't stop there. Also prototyped was the massive Mad Balls Madmobile, which was twice the size of the already existing roller cycle, and slated to come packaged with yet another all-new character, Flang Fang. Like, what? So what happened? Why were these items never put into production and released? Well, that's something we're working on getting to the bottom of right now. And when we find out, you'll find out. That is, when the next season of the Toys That Made Us drops. And until then, we'll see you on the tour, IO!
You have been designated for termination. We'll only report biomass. We'll see you on the
It never gets old.
Well, that's a fun lag.
I assure you it's a lot funnier when it's in sync. Yeah. OAV Club. Yeah, come on, Nick. Come on, Nick.
Oh no, I can assure you it plays normal. There's something wrong with the connection.
All right. Well, but that was still for just season 4. We have up here seasons 4 and 5, which means there's some more. Thank you. I just love this front row. They've just got me. They're just cued in to what I want from it right here. So, do we want to see what else is coming down? Yeah. Let's do it. So,
I've got one of those as well.
This is really exciting. Any other Brian, we want to talk quickly about fast food?
This, it's funny, when the show was originally greenlit for season 1, this was an episode I always wanted to do, but it just seemed very different than everything else we were doing, so I was like, we'll do it later, and there were actually 2 episodes I really wanted to do. This was one of them. The other one, when you hear that we're doing it, God willing one day, that'll tell you the end is near for the Toys That Made Us, and that is definitely an episode you should direct. I'll tell you why in a minute, because that could come out weird. But it would be an episode called "The Toys That Should Have Not Been Made." The reason why I point to my friend Brian is because the lead toy in that episode will be LJN's Dune line. PhDs in.
Front row is the start. Right?
But here's another fun fact. Who here knows what the very first, what we call Happy Meal, but I don't literally mean Happy Meal, but who the first toy, not you, Tom, I don't even know if it should be you. I've seen you in these before, too. Go ahead. What?
Burger Chef Fun Meal.
No. Holy shit, no. Who knows? Okay. I don't know about you either. You back there.
Cracker Jack?
Nope.
Star Trek.
Yes. Star Trek the motion picture was the first what we now call Happy Meal ever.
Okay.
By the way, when Brian, you knew that?
Can I debate it?
You can.
The Star Trek meal, right? Never
Right.
used the Happy Meal logo. Before the Star Trek meal comes out, there are regional Happy Meals that exist in McDonald's, and then pre-McDonald's, Burger Chef comes out with the Fun Meal, which is the Happy Meal concept before McDonald's does it.
What wasn't in the Fun Meal?
What was the toy? So there were a series of them. It started in 1973 with the.
I think I'm in trouble. Since you brought up the year, I'm like, oh shit. Keep going. Wait, you got materials?
You're gonna have to edit this now.
Oh! Hey!
This is entirely unscripted.
Maybe
to record people, I really do in my heart think I'm right, but I am not fucking with this guy. I'm going to concede defeat. Can I keep this? Apparently I should read this.
Maybe you should hire him.
I think I've seen this in the office. Great. Yeah. All right.
There we go.
Anyway, all right. Moving on.
Listen, busting makes us feel good. Season 5.
Number 1 most requested episode is Ghostbusters. I don't care if you're the biggest ghost head ever, however crazy you think any of this is, we have, and I always thought it was one of the craziest stories, toy-wise, that I knew of. It is so much crazier. When you see what we have found and who we've been able to interview, this is truly one of the most bizarre stories in the history of the toy business. So I'll leave it at that.
And we're going to keep on going because we could say some more fun facts about this, but we also have to get to the other toys, which are also for us millennial kids. Hot Wheels.
So before anybody asks, yes, we will also be talking about micro machines. Yes, ma'am. We're gonna start the Q&A early, all because of you.
I'm
Go ahead.
excited. But there's Star Trek micro machines.
There sure are. You know, I'm aware of that.
He should be, if not, he's in trouble.
The guy who named his company Nacelle. I'm very aware of that. Truthfully, honestly, and I feel like this would break both of our hearts, I don't think we'll be touching on those. We're going to stay with the things they got wheels. Cars. We'll stick with cars. We did touch upon that in the Toys That Made Us Star Trek episode.
There are Hot Wheels Star Trek toys as well, I believe.
You wanted to say something before
I just wanted to say, who knows how many Hot Wheels are being sold worldwide every second? 16 and a half. The half is very important, apparently. 16 and a half. Every second worldwide. They're making over 1 billion little tiny wheels every single year. So Hot Wheels continues to be a
I think
juggernaut.
the half is a motorcycle.
Could be.
It makes all the sense in the world. We're going to keep it moving.
Tip your weights down.
Because we have a sneak peek for our last one, and I would like our honorary Brian all the way at the end to talk a little bit about what's going to be sneaky peeking.
Wait, shouldn't Maud be the...
That's what she's the honorary.
Oh.
That's the joke.
My bad, the one joke I didn't write. Fuck.
So the last one will be Polly Pocket, which Polly had. I made my own Polly shirt for this panel. So started in '89. Dad invented it for his daughter. Beautiful story of an independent inventor. So that's really what we wanted to get in this episode. And it talks about the entire life of the toy. It's about a 35-year brand at this point. So, you know, it's not just the beginning. It's not just Fashion Polly, as you may know her. So it's pretty cool. Check it out.
Excellent. So guys, we have another video that I really hope is in sync. But we're going to have to wave bye to it.
Good luck.
Oh yeah, I had to, guys. It was right there. I had to. I did it. Oh! Guys, all right, are we ready?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure you guys are alive. Are we ready?
Yeah!
This is Polly Pocket.
Polly really discovered a whole new way to play in a small frame by providing not just the doll, but an entire world to play in.
Right. And Polly Pocket changed the world,
It's a big market for small dolls.
making billions for toy companies
$1.5 billion.
and unleashing the limitless imagination of millions of children around the world.
It's not very often that you have a brand that comes in and lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts.
It's also worth noting that pockets come in pairs, and so do the creators of this pocket-sized powerhouse. It's a pair of Chris's, and between them, they have an unlikely resume.
And I designed something for you. We were asked to go on to become incontinent specialists. We don't want to be diaper specialists. What are we doing playing with diapers?
What are they doing playing with them? Well, in any case, Pocket had humble beginnings.
Dad was always playing around making toys for me to play with.
Kate took it. She started inviting her friends over to play with her.
The original Polly doll was a little wooden peg.
So the original was made from a powder compact. You can see how thin that is. When you open it, you've got all that stuff in there, and it gives you an illusion of having a lot more in there than you thought possible.
But Polly Pocket wasn't an instant global hit. She first emerged in 1989 under the British brand Bluebird.
It sold out within days, and they couldn't stop.
Woo for the British.
Playing with Polly Pocket was far more technical than just jiggling around a peg.
The term that we use, which is very technical, is doinky doink.
Doinky doink.
We call it doinky doink. Take your toy and dance around the playset with it.
So you take your doll and you doink 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 here.
But make no mistake, doinky doinking gave kids real power.
Projection play where
A generation of children of God complex
doinky doink
wasn't enough.
How do we grow fast enough to keep up with the demand?
To do that, only Mattel had the power.
Our chairman, John Ammerman, wanted to bring it to the United States.
The power of big advertising campaigns.
We used it for like 5 or 6 years because it worked really well. It also had a hipness to it. You really wanted to sing along.
Really wanted to sing along might be a stretch.
It's stuck in your head for days.
Yeah, sorry everyone. But Mattel not only had the power, they also had Barbie.
Yeah, Barbie was doing well.
Barbie rules the roost.
And no one wants to mess with Barbie.
That's right.
The Barbie people look down on noses at us.
And Polly Pocket became a battleground between the Mattel bigwigs
there was some butting of heads and how much do we change?
and these little British boys.
You completely lose the identity of the whole brand.
But after all the finger pointing,
Felt like they were an obstacle to our successful relaunch.
you could really only point to one thing.
I think it's wonderful that Polly is still around to make kids happy.
It's incredibly gratifying to have been part of such an iconic brand. It makes us feel that it was worth all the effort. It was something you could be immensely proud of.
Even if Polly Pocket didn't find a place in your pocket, after this story of toys and toy makers, Polly Pocket will certainly find a place in your heart.
What Polly Pocket did was just unbelievable.
This is Polly Pocket, and these are the toys we donked with. Toys that made
I have a quick fact about this one because I shot and directed most of that episode, and to let you understand, you all look at
He's
us.
being polite. He directed all of it.
Okay.
Wow, cool.
To let you all look at us and think, what a cool job. They get to go out there and investigate all these toys, and that must be awesome. And it is, until you take it home with you. And you sing the Polly Pocket song so much that your wife says you have to leave the house for a while. Circle the block until you get it out of your system. Which is literally what happened to me. Mary kicked me out. So it sticks with you. It's not all fun and games.
Maud, can you talk a little bit about how this all came to be? I remember being in a parking lot when you called me.
Oh, really? So it kind of all came to me, COVID. We were all home. I'm a journalist, and Polly Pocket was my favorite toy. And I was really curious because of the Barbie episode. I wanted to know what was her story, where did she come from? Wikipedia page had barely anything, but it did say Chris Wiggs invented it for his daughter Kate. And so my dad made me toys as a child, thought that was beautiful, thought it was really interesting. He was an independent inventor. Mattel didn't own Polly Pocket the rights until 2007 because Origin, Chris Wiggs' company, maintained those. So I just thought it was such a beautiful story. He was an independent inventor and nobody had touched it yet. It hadn't been brought up, and I thought it would be beautiful to tell the story, and I was fortunate enough to do that with obviously Brian's help. Brian.
I did it with Maud's help.
Well, I also had the pleasure of working on the episode of Toys That Made Us. And it's beautiful because Chris did pass away last summer, and it's beautiful to be able to finally capture that legacy of his. And he was finally ready to talk about it. I guess, I don't know if he knew it was toward the end of his life, but he was ready to share that legacy, and I think he'd just be so happy to see that you all are so excited about it. And you'll get to learn about just way too much. Not enough probably in my point of view, but you'll get to learn a lot about her.
And Mona, I believe you also have a big reveal today that the front row saw because they were early. But not everyone else did. Do you want to tease what I'm about to hold up?
Sure, so how this all started actually was I decided to write a book about Polly Pocket. Luckily, I had this gentleman, Brian Volkweiss, who was a powerful ally, and you know, he helped me pursue this dream, and so I had this book idea that actually begat the episode of The Toys That Made Us. And so it's called, we kind of branded them together, so it's The Toys That Made Us Polly Pocket, the unauthorized, unofficial story of Mattel's Paper Money Maker. Yeah. And it's out November 4th, and this is the first time I'm seeing the book in person, so I'm very happy. Thank you very much. Another beautiful thing about the book, besides all these stories that will be, you know, just in the TV episode, but they'll also be part of the book, there's also original illustrations by my friend Amy. So she was able to take, you know, the theme of each chapter and give you kind of a little snippet, because the work of Polly Pocket is just like so amazing, the engineering, and needed to be included somehow, and I didn't want to deal with getting photo rights. So yeah, November 4th, everything you ever wanted to know about Polly, and probably more. Yeah, sorry, it's a little emotional.
Get it, girl, man.
You can pre-order the book now, so you can pre-order Amazon, really anywhere you buy books, so go check it out.
I am so excited to see your book. Like, I can't even tell you, because like I got to see like notes and stuff that Maud had, because she basically guided me through making this episode. Maud is the
I was his
absolute,
like plastic galaxy
like
for
my
the
Yoda.
Star Wars.
You're
Yeah,
my Yoda.
right? Yeah.
You're my tiny little pocket-sized Yoda. This is awesome. I'm like way more excited. I'm almost as excited as Maud is.
Well, yeah, because this all started about 4 years ago, so it's, you know, been a fair amount of time. As Brian said, it takes forever.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pockets are strong.
Sorry.
Congratulations to the Bryans for helping us get into it. And now we've got the Q&A portion of our panel. That is all of the goodies we have to reveal, and now we want to hear from you. Who's got a question? All the way in the back in glasses.
How you doing?
Stand up.
My question is, when you first found your manufacturer for your first product, how did you decide to pick out a factory? Because I'm sure you had thousands of different options, and it's an investment to ask for a sample. So how'd you pick one from another?
It was all referrals. You know, I have a lot of friends that work at a lot of toy companies, from NECA to Super 7 to whatever, and just asked them for recommendations, and we talked to a bunch of the factories, and we went with the one we thought was best. I wish I had more time, because this is I've been out of college 27 years. The company does a million different things that we never did until we did it. The most bizarre business anything I have ever seen in my life is the way it works between us and the factory. One fact, and this is something we send hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to. No contract. They don't do contracts. Yeah, it is the weirdest thing in the world, but it's how it works. And I assume Hasbro has contracts, but we don't. And most of the companies I've even mentioned don't have contracts with their factories. Yeah, it's wild.
Thank you.
All right, front row. Let's go.
What have been the biggest obstacles you've encountered in the journey of getting toys on shelves? I've heard from people at Super 7 saying it's a miracle that it ever happens.
I mean, you know, I don't think it's a miracle. In fact, to be honest with you, you phrasing it that way reminds me of one of my favorite lines from any movie ever. that doesn't have the word star in the title. There's a great line towards the early part of Apollo 13 where Tom Hanks, Jim Lovell, sitting there with his wife in the backyard looking up at the moon. And it was so weird. It was such an interesting line. And it was the night, if you remember the movie, it was the night Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. And who knows the line?
Ooh.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, he just turns to her and he goes, you know, it wasn't a miracle. We just decided to go. And like, that's what it was like. I mean, we had a steep learning curve. We made a billion mistakes. We're still making them. But we just did it, and it worked. And yeah, I mean, what we're dealing with now on Moo Mesa is, that's the hardest thing for us, is there's always something at the port. Like, if you were to say to me, Brian, if you had a magic wand and you could change one thing about the process, it would be our port. Like, we can't talk to the factory without Google Translate. There's no contract. You would think that would be the problem. No, they're great, they're fine. It's the Port of Los Angeles. That's a nightmare to deal with. Yeah. I'd say 80% of the fights we've had have been either with the port or the trucking company that brings the stuff from the port to our loading docks. Yeah.
Wow. My good sir, also in the front row.
You mentioned Brian gave you the Rolodex that helped you do this much. How big do you consider your Rolodex to be at this point in your life, and would you be willing to give it to someone else like that?
First of all, 100% I would. So much, like, I always worry what I'm about to say. It's going to sound like so artsy-fartsy, like philosophical Zen bullshit. But I'm the last person on earth to be Zen. I'm the last person on earth I like to pay things forward. Like, I'm not that guy. I'm a very practical guy. That said, I really feel like what we do is like so 5 minutes. Okay, thank you. Show sign. It's almost like it's like let me make it selfish so it doesn't sound like I'm being the Buddha. I feel like I'm providing a service to myself when I was 15, or a service to myself if I was like a dentist in Brooklyn. So, for example, we got the first interview ever on camera with Marsha Lucas. It was a 5-hour interview for the show we do called Icons on Earth. It was great, everything was great, and this was valuable. We also got the last interview Leonard Nimoy ever did. We got the last Nacelle email. We did the last interview Nichelle Nichols ever did. We always add a disc on our Blu-rays that put the complete interviews, because I feel like it's selfish not to. So, to your point, I get asked all the time, at least once a week, someone DMs me, hey, I'm doing blah, 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 blah. Can you give me Marsha Lucas's contact info? And I always say, I gotta get her permission, send me something, and I will forward it to her. And I'd say at least 20% of the time, she reaches out to the people. And I know that because they thank me. But again, I don't feel like it's my job to hoard Marsha Lucas. You know, the information Leonard Nimoy gave us, I would say 10 to 20% of it was brand new. No one ever heard it before. And yes, that was in the show, of course. But there was so much, and it's his last interview. Yeah, you gotta share that. Yeah. Yeah. And also, because of people like Brian and Maude, what a horrible person I would be to not do that. Like, we wouldn't be here without people like this.
I just want to get one.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, Brian. It's very touching, but you know the guy.
I fucked up. Yeah, you're right.
My friend in the blue. Yes, you've raised your hand. I saw you.
Hi, thank you. I had two quick questions. I was curious how the collaboration with Oni Press came about from the Nacelle comic books, and I've seen the RoboForce cartoon. I enjoyed it. I was curious why you didn't try to have a Biker Mice from Mars cartoon first, because I feel like that was like the most recognizable property that you had. So I was just curious why you tried that first.
Yeah, great questions. First of all, is Hunter here?
Nope.
Well, Hunter is the publisher of Oni, who told me he would come, so you're in a lot of trouble, Hunter. No, Hunter, I'll be completely honest with you, and this is part of why I wish Hunter was here. I forget how he and I met. But we met a long time ago, and we became friends. He became the head publisher of Oni. He called me, we had breakfast, not at the keg. And then, one thing led to another. He got the Nacelle-verse, he got what we were trying to do, and he just went to the wall with it. I mean, he has been, and Oni in general, Oni has been one of the best partners we have ever worked with. So I'm actually bummed out Hunter's not here to hear that. Your second question is a great question. And I guarantee you, almost anybody else will give you a different answer. But I'm actually going to tell you the truth. To be honest, I knew getting into animation would have a massive learning curve, and it sure as hell did. The biggest knock against RoboForce is that the animation isn't as good as the writing, which I agree with. I didn't, and I knew something like that was going to happen. It would be absolutely impossible for a company that had never made a cartoon to be like, "Yeah, look, I made a cartoon." So I didn't want to fuck up Biker Mice. So it's not that I wanted to fuck up RoboForce, but here's the difference between RoboForce and Biker Mice. Again, on a planet of 8 billion people, there might be 5,000 RoboForce fans on a good day. Well, hopefully now there's a lot more. Biker Mice has millions and millions, probably 20 to 30 million fans. And for that to be our quote, and I do not consider RoboForce a guinea pig, but the risk was less. And there's some guy in Phoenix who's like the king of RoboForce. He tortures us on everything we do. I could deal with him being mad. We couldn't deal with 20 million people pissed off that we screwed up Biker Mice. And that's the honest to God's answer as to why we did what we did.
Great.
For better or worse.
I'm afraid we're out of time, but before we go, you know that you can find us on the digital space and ask us these questions, because we're really good at responding. Brian with a Y, would you like to tell everyone where they can find us?
Yeah, Instagram's Toys Nacelle, Facebook's Nacelle Toys, it's just backwards there. We have Nacelle Company pages as well. I know we showed Star Trek very briefly, but if you're a big Star Trek fan, I know you guys are, email us at StarTrekIdeas at NacelleCompany.com if you have any suggestions on what you want to see. Nacelle Company, Nacelle Store, you can get our toys, yeah.
Do we have a panel tomorrow?
And we have a panel
Well, we do have a panel, yeah. 11:15 a.m. Our Star Trek panel is in North Room 408.
And there will be surprises.
Oh yeah, a lot of surprises at that one.
Plenty of time for Q&As.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bevan. Everybody give Bevan a huge... It's not easy to moderate these things.
Thank you guys so much.